Break. What is our brief?
Attack defense, so did a bit of rewrite at sector control, so this is attack defense sector control. The only really main difference is that you can hold the sector as long as you have one person alive and conscious, so it's no longer a majority, so the attackers have to make sure that they clear everyone out of the sector. And then this particular mission, it's got to be done in order. So attackers got to go 1, 2, and then 3, and that's it.
Alrighty, any questions from our platoon leaders?
Sectors be retaken by defenders?
Nope.
Okay.
Alrighty, without further ado, good luck, have fun. Round 1 of F&F starts right now.
Alright, how are you guys doing?
I'm doing good. How are you all doing?
I'm doing well. Lear, how are you doing?
Good in the
That's
hood,
great
my
to
man.
hear.
Wow, okay, yeah, I'm doing okay, Barb. I know Warwick's doing okay as well, but, how are you guys doing otherwise?
Had my first day of work, and so I'm relaxing with a little bit of wine and 2 fucking big-ass cans of beer.
Cag. Warwick, what about you? How are you relaxing on this fine evening?
I have. Where'd my bottle of vodka go? A nice little
Oh.
bottle of cheap Smirnoff.
Ooh.
Damn, I have tap water, because I got plastered yesterday.
Yes, you did. Off of cider, no less. The only man
And
I
mead.
know that could get... Oh, yeah, and mead. Okay, sorry.
I know,
Mr.
you gotta add that extra for me, okay? I'm a lightweight.
Listen, mead's good. I make my own mead.
Oh, I'm not saying I'm not trying to bash on the goodness of mead. I'm just saying it's like what, 13% tops? Lear, would you like to enlighten us on the ABV of your 2 drinks?
I don't know. I know it's higher up, but
it can get pretty spicy.
That's fair. That's fair.
I could run downstairs real quick, but I'll do that during the intermission. Let's cover the fight we've got going right now. So from what I saw on the roster, it is a 35 or so on Op4 versus a 26 on BLUFOR. Op4 has an MI-24 with a little chin turret, so that's a massive 7.62 turret. They've also got a BTR-80. Also looking at the roster, they have a very hefty Delta squad with 3 MG teams and their AT. Meanwhile, BLUFOR determined to spread things out around 2 squads of infantry and a MAT team, as well as some auxiliary units. My number one question, though, is I noticed that the MAT team guy was given a javelin. If that is an RHS javelin, that can be used to take the aircraft out as well, even though I did note that they did get a stinger in a box. So I'll be curious to see if that happens for this operation.
So, I'll just to step in real quick. I think from last week we determined that is the RHS javelin, though I don't think we completely confirmed that, but I think we're going off of that assumption. Also, the MI-24's nose turret is 12.7, not 7.62. So a lot more deadly than the little 7.62, by 54R or whatever you call it.
I do believe it is the RHS Javelin because last week in the second round op, one of BLUFOR's transport helos, their Blackhawk, I do believe was taken by a Javelin.
In the big 2-hour one?
Yes.
Oh, well, we missed that.
This was towards the end of it. During that big open push through the field. We had I was part of that assault, and our team had just gotten off of that Blackhawk, and it went to lay down fire on the zone.
Checking the armament real quick.
And then we get the call out Blackhawk down.
Classic.
Shoutcast brought to you by Liru Shenanigans. So I'm actually looking up right now, because I could have sworn that primary turret fires 7.62, not 12.7. But Wikipedia is not working with me right now. It has the info buried somewhere else. But I can assure you that fires 7.62 and not 12.7.
I'm looking at myself as well, because I would be happy to prove you wrong any chance I can get.
Yeah.
Yes, it is the Yak B12.7, a 12.7 4-barrel machine gun. Range practical 1,500 meters. Up to 4,500 rounds per minute.
All right, I guess it's 12.7 then.
I think if my autism might be off, but I believe it's like 12.7 by like 111 or something like that.
Yeah.
So like even chunkier than the American 12.7 M2.
Regardless, I am looking at the kits of the Russian forces. We got one marksman in the mist here, quite a few machine guns. But I'm also kind of curious to see what their ingress route will be. I mean, they got multiple gazes for, you know, in between the teams and squads. They could deploy 8 people through the Mi-24. They could use the BTR-80 to transport a few guys, and they could literally just push up this MSR, but they do have to go for Sector 1 first. Really, what I'm seeing is all of this forest right here is going to give them a shit ton of concealment and cover to get up to Sector 1 right off the bat. What I'm thinking is they're going to have a majority of their teams move up through the north and the east. Maybe not necessarily the east, though, because it is a little bit of a seldom cover there, but the BTR-80 position there would be a good call. Except for fear of that javelin, but they could also position guys on the southern side where the forest cuts off and do overwatch from that vector as well, because this big open field. So that marksman is definitely going to be useful, but I don't know, just the zones I'm looking at, a lot of these buildings, I'm trying to check, it looks like they are enterable. So we've got that that one mod that's been circulating a lot that did internal textures for all those Cherno Russian buildings, as well as Contact DLC adding some additional textures. So Virothali does use from I believe Contact DLC. So not all of these sectors are pure cereal boxes, but there are a few buildings that aren't the best for use. We'll just have to see how everything goes. I'm really curious to see how BLUFOR is going to position their guys. I'm really curious to see how OPFOR is going to deploy their units to try to push into Sector 1.
Yeah, the two ways that I can really see them OPFOR doing this is going down the MSR and then taking that northwestern side road.
Virolati, I know, I'm sorry.
And kind of taking the long way. Alternatively, they could continue along that MSR and that go into that clearing at 037-123 and use that clearing to move up and possibly dismount either at Suopelto or the high ground over there, because that does technically make it defilade because of just the relative elevation of the terrain.
The one thing I'm really questioning right now is just how heavy OPFOR is on the Delta team, especially when on the when you're on the assault. Having the MMG teams, having one is that can be okay and that can work to your advantage. But when you're a little heavy on them, it tends to just slow the approach and slow the assault down.
So what I'm seeing is around that Delta marker for Red 4, I'm seeing 3 PKPs, a number of AKs with GP25s, and the Red 4 does have the Titan launcher to give them essentially a javelin as well.
I don't know how that javelin's going to work for them. If it's going to behave like an RHS one, they could lock on to an infantry guy and hit him, but I don't think that's going to be too useful unless they do try to put him in some sort of overwatch position. Maybe saving those AT rounds for the enemy javelin guy and even the stinger guy if they can find him.
Yeah, I think it really matters if they have a singular rock or missile to use with it, or if they have multiple. I believe they do have at least 2, possibly 3, but that would just be my guess.
I do believe that the assistant carries 1 extra for the javelin.
And I can see on the Titan operator for Red 4 that he does have a backpack which could theoretically hold as a second Titan missile. So we'll see how that plays out, I suppose. Because the one time that we saw that last week, the Javelin operator, who I believe was Victor Reznov,
Got killed immediately.
Yeah, he got suppressed off the bat, and then they never let up, and they ended up killing him, and no other BLUFOR could rescue his Javelin.
So I'm looking at BLUFOR right now. Looks like they're deploying a squad to Sector 1 right now. The other two are in reserve. Blake is going to be the Javelin gunner for BLUFOR here, but I have not seen anyone take the Stinger out yet. So I'm going to be curious to see who that goes to, because if I was in his shoes, I'd literally just hunker down somewhere towards the side of the map. Probably if I had a marksman, I'd give the Stinger to him so he could hang back, and when that 24 shows up, that's a easy kill right off the bat.
And our marksman for BLUFOR today will be Gunnery Sergeant Quigley. He's still talking with command over by the M2s, and they're still trying to formulate a plan. But yeah,
Finn and them are playing on the ground today, yes.
Did they say
At
it's a
Standy
Stinger,
Recon.
like just a man-pad Stinger, or is it the Stinger chair?
It's a man-pad Stinger. It's supposed to be in that cargo crate next to him, but we're also seeing BLUFOR starting to deploy those 50 cals. In my opinion, statics are some of the most underutilized things in Arma 3, but if utilized properly, they could shoot the hell out of the crew for the BTR-80, for example. A lucky few hits could actually knock the pilot out of the Mi-24. And if Op4 does not micro their route properly and gets caught in an open field, that 50 cal can easily shred anyone that's in the open to smithereens. So I'll be curious to see where they put those in position, how they adjust them, and just how useful they are for this operation, because again, this is a 26 BLUFOR versus about 35 Op4. Though we did have a few extras join in as everyone was being pushed in, so those numbers could be skewed a little slightly.
Let's also not forget that the 50s could not just knock the pilot out of the Mi-24, but it could mangle the primary rotors and the stabilizer rotors as well on that thing.
Yeah, and it just as a matter of BLUFOR being able to build around them, they do have access to trenches and the fortified tool. And we see over at Mannerheim building his own version of the Mannerheim line with some Hescos and bunkers and such. So if they're able to utilize that M2 properly and give it a very focused cone of fire, I think it could, if the stars align, it could really turn the tide for this for the BLUFOR.
Oh, Mannerheim, you've built the Hescos the wrong way around.
Yeah, I noticed that too. He absolutely did.
Yeah. My one fear with the statics, though, and I'm trying to find him, is there is, let's see, Stray Dog has a scoped SVD. So if they get too lax with those statics and Stray Dog gets a moment to scout them out, he could easily snipe the gunners off of the M2 turrets. So we'll have to see where he gets positioned.
With those two M2s, we see Montgomery and I believe it is, Montgomery and Firefighter have one each. I don't know where the third one is, but Montgomery is up in the building that they're holding in Sector 1 that they've built up around. He's not the best position in my opinion, but Firefighter has placed down one in the small bunker just outside of it with some decent cover. I think that would be an effective position if they try and go around. That is facing east-northeast, so if they try
Barb, I hate to interrupt you. Which Montgomery do you mean? We have a Lance Corporal Montgomery, and we have a Private First Class Montgomery.
Oh, do we actually?
Yeah, if you look a little to the northwest on A1 marker, you got PFC Montgomery. You've got...
Oh, Lord. I mean Lance Corporal Montgomery.
Okay.
To the east, inside the Sector 1 circle right now.
It'll be the 2MRB Montgomery, and the other Montgomery is, I believe, 29th ID.
Yep.
So a imitator, gotcha.
Now, I do like how aggressive BLUFOR is being, cutting off the obvious route Op4 would take into this AO and actually segmenting a lot of troops to guard that vector. I'll be curious to see if Op4 tries another bait and switch like they did last week to potentially fool BLUFOR on their route, because in my opinion, on round 1 of last week, that is what won it for Op4 by making everyone on that vanguard position look the wrong way, which let the main force then go up the way that the Vanguard position had a perfect point for. So we'll have to see what Op 4 decides to do. Go ahead, Warwick.
I think that what's going to end up happening is the group that is stationed at Sector 2 is for the large part going to be just completely out of the fight or stationary for the large part. So that way, if they do end up pulling just a switcheroo on them, and they manage to steam through that first objective, they're going to get bogged a little bit by the second objective, which will give BLUFOR enough time to wheel their reinforcements around and come in and hit them for one of their flanks.
By the way,
Very
Blake
possible.
has set up in Sector 2 over the obvious Overwatch vectors, so we'll see what the Javelin gets to do. And has anyone seen the Stinger get deployed? I haven't seen that yet.
I have not either. I kind of wonder if there's an issue with it. I doubt it, but yeah, cargo freight is still there in between Sector 1 and Sector 2 to the west of them. But yeah, I'm not seeing it either. And Red 4 doesn't appear to be ready. They were not ready at mission or at safe start end. You see Boston and one other getting into a Gas Tiger and having
I don't think there's a time limit for this one though, so they can take all the time they want.
I think that we do. I think by default the mission templates are an hour long.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so most of them are loading them up in the BTR, but even with the infantry protection seats on top, they're not going to have enough seats with just that and the Tiger. Looks like they're starting to load up into the Mi-24 now, which...
So, that Mi-24 does contain their marksman. I don't know where their Titan guy went, though. Do you have any eyes on where he went?
No, let me see if I can find him.
I always get a little sketched out whenever I see a fully loaded helicopter of any kind. It just gives bad flashbacks because more oftentimes than not, that ends up being a detriment than a bonus
Yeah.
in FNF.
We already have one gas going down the MSR.
The Mi-24 has let off flares now.
Oh, he's just showing off. By the way, my chat is asking, what level of medical does FNF do? I believe it's full advanced, right?
It's modified advanced.
Modified advanced. How so?
They've adjusted armor values for a lot of the stuff with the Russian body armors and such to make it on equal footing. You won't have to do all the different bandage types. A basic bandage will fix anything from a tear to a crush to a gunshot wound. There's a little bit of give and play and modifications within the statistics itself, such as you're more in FNF, you're more likely to go up or get revived on your own without medical attention than you are with standard advanced medical.
That's nice to hear. So it's more PvP entwined.
Yeah, and it's really easy to see why they do that, because nobody wants to get shot by a stray round or enfilade fire and spend the next 20 minutes in the dirt.
Mm-hmm. By the way, I'm watching Master Sergeant Cosmonaut. He just ran a little out of his position to put a demo charge assembly on the side of a building, possibly thinking Op 4 will come up this forested vector. It's a very smart call, in my opinion. I just hope he stays alive long enough to possibly use it.
This Mi-24 is pushing up ahead of the rest of the Op 4. It looks like it might be landing and letting off its load somewhere southeast of the BLUFOR. But sorry, Warwick, I cut you off.
Oh, no, it's perfectly all right. I think in the 200V, Cosmonaut is one of the more cautious types. I think I can't speak for what he's done, but within the unit, he's one of the more likely people to put it on a timer rather than leave it up to chance to see if he stays alive. The theory behind that being, if somebody's there, it'll get him, But if they're not there, it's creating noise and creating distraction and pulling attention off of assault.
Mm-hmm. Because with PvP, you can't just ignore things.
Mm-hmm. So Mi-24 deployed a few guys. It's now south of the zone. I don't understand why they didn't just take a Gaz up the MSR for that LZ.
Still a solid click and a half away from any sort of defensive positions. Maybe they're a late reactionary force or something, but we're seeing that BTR now being the vanguard force, pushing up in that field that I talked about, pushing up to that kind of high ground. And, it looks like they're dismounting their troops here, and they're going to be possibly pushing up that ASR east of Sector 1. Because, they have to go for Sector 1. They don't have the option of going to Sector 2 or 3.
I will say my man Logan is with that crew that dismounted. Logan last week did pull a lot of crazy, silly plays in stealing Vic, so I'll be curious to see what he plays today. Meanwhile, BTR-80 has deployed its troops. It looks like they might try to go for the little snippet of forest instead of that massive one to the top, and that's going to be smart because BLUFOR has fortified the absolute hell out of that. Where they go from here and what maneuvers they do will also be interesting, but looks like the BTR-80 is going for that Overwatch position. That's going to be very dangerous because they do not know where that Javelin guy is, and he's got perfect eyes. He's already spotting it out.
The BTR.
Yeah.
He spotted the BTR. He absolutely sees that.
He's got to be really careful about firing that in a building, though, because the rocket could easily go up and hit the top of the window and kill him and Martin. But I think he's noticing that, and he's leaving now to possibly try to line a shot up.
And now he's trying to reacquire the target, and I think he might have lost it.
If he's got thermal cam on it, he could possibly see it. The BTR-80 is going to pull up, giving him a perfect line.
But right now, he's watching the infantry. He might be holding his fire and looking elsewhere for it.
He does have a little spruce tree.
See it now.
Yep. Okay.
He sees it now.
If I was him, I would take the shot and knock that thing out immediately. But
Absolutely.
he's going to hold. There's the...
No, he's not.
There it
No,
is.
he's not. He's
And that BTR is toast.
And that's the end of that.
Sorry, that
Takes a hit. She's cooking off. The crew's going to have to quickly get out. There it is.
Yep.
I've not seen any... Maybe Arcor's hit with that? He's, there he goes. But yeah, that thing's cooking off. That was a beautiful hit. Not really smart by Op4.
No, that's what we were expecting last week, and that just didn't happen. But Blake was able to make it happen this week.
Well, the reason it didn't happen with last week was because they pulled a feint and were able to pull away the Javelin to look somewhere where it wasn't. But there wasn't really any good terrain for that because with that map, it was just a lot of rolling hills. But here, it's just a massive open field and kill zone, and now you're starting to hear fire get exchanged. But that's Blake just suppressing the infantry down there. But with the loss of the 80 Alpha, that's a massive force multiplier that has been taken away. So now Op4 only has the Mi-24, which they are staging to the southwest of the AO, a very crafty spot. I don't think any BLUFOR are going to predict that, so it'll at least be able to get one run in before the Stinger comes out, even though I have no idea who has it.
Yeah, I'm looking around now, trying to see if someone has it on their back. Quigley is still in that two-story by Lance Corporal Montgomery and those two 50 cals, watching that approach vector that Op4 will probably be going on. But yeah, let's see if we can find the Stinger, because I have not seen it yet, and that Mi-24 is very much in play. It does not have any pylons, it just has that nose turret. So it's a little neutered as far as its full potential.
Your mic cut out, Barb.
The Mi-24 does still have a lot of firepower just with that nose cannon.
There's the Mi-24 doing a gun run.
It is.
It is up high. Wow, that is very far off. The Mi-24 is mainly a gunship, though. It firing from that far. I just heard some sort of missile launch. I'm watching the 24 right now. I don't think it was towards it, but something definitely did get launched.
I'm curious. You keep watching that 24. I'm gonna see if I can find that stinger.
All right, I'll keep looking up at it occasionally. Looks like the javelin landed at the D marker at Koak. Might have knocked... Yep, I'm seeing some guys bleeding nearby Pearson Ideen. So I think that was just used against infantry right there, but they need to save it. That 24 has to have a render distance turned up in order to see there, but that chin turret, the accuracy of it from this range is going to be very, very reduced. And the more time they spend on it, the more BLUFOR is going to start adjusting to try to take it down. Also, another thing I noticed with BLUFOR is that entire northern front they had in the forest, they've actually had the right flank now adjust to look at OPFOR come down. You're also hearing one of those 50 cals firing off of Wheaton, firing at the 3 guys in the forest, and I don't think there's any casualties yet here. They're just trading rounds. Hold up, nope, Casey and Norris got hit. Casey goes down by that, by suppression fire. And OPFOR is not in a good spot here because they have all their eggs in one basket, but that southern team, we have Stray Dog going alone because he's the marksman, and then the 4 guys from the vehicle are also coming from the south. That could be...
Give me your milk on OPFOR also goes down. Wakes back up quick, but he's part of that one, the forwardmost element. They're getting hit by some GP25, or sorry, M203s rather, and nearest.
Arma does have tripwire mines, but I don't think there's any here.
BLUFOR has a very solid wall of fire that's coming down on anything that they see. With these traces, we can see them just absolutely hammering this position. Red 4 is popping smokes to try and maneuver through this fire, but that's just it's probably just drawing the BLUFOR's fire even more.
By the way, the 24 just relocated to the north. It looks like it's going northeast now, testing the waters, trying to see if BLUFOR can spot them. I'm not seeing anyone look up against it, but that northern group... Hold up, I've got eyes on the Stinger. It is given to T4 ERB. He's with Nielsen. And they're going to try to run that Stinger under him, but actually, no, it doesn't look like they know exactly where that 24 is, but he would have a perfect shot if he could just look to his left.
Now that MI24 is firing again, he should be... he can use his primary basic echolocation, using his fucking ears to look up and see that MI24. It is right smack dab in the middle of the sky. We have someone who's just throwing pot shots at it. Looks like that's Kernshaw and Carlson who are right next to Herb, but he's looking at infantry right now.
The 24 appears to be targeting T5 Bay, JS Lal, and Skullend on the right flank of the forest.
Oh, and here we go. Herb's now looking in the right-ish. Nope,
he turned around. He might not have a proper... No, he's trying, but the 24 is moving.
Yeah, now we got some trees in the way, but he's been pointed in the right direction.
If he were to just be... He's got a clearing on his right. If he were to just be patient and make sure he doesn't lose the lock.
And should fire any second now. There it goes.
There it goes. And that is a hit. Tail rotor's probably going to be out after that.
Yep, tail rotor is out. And possibly the main rotor, too. I think that might have hit the engine.
It looks...
I think the...
for a crash land.
Possibly. I don't think the main engine or the main rotor are down. Usually a tail hit just takes out the tail rotor and does damage to the engine. I think they have the gear out in case there's a second shot. That forces them to land.
Yeah, their main rotor is stalling out. If you can see it slowing down, but the tail rotor is out completely.
I think the engine might be hit.
Randomly. Those guys firing randomly. He's trying. He might get this, but he's starting to spin.
His rounds did hit. Private First Class Montgomery, he is bandaging. They're getting the Stinger out. But at this point, they don't need a Stinger because the Stinger's not going to lock on it if it's on the ground. If they're to stay on that turret, but it's turned in the worst possible angle. If they turned it around, they could use it against the infantry that are coming up to finish them off.
I don't know if they have that luxury, but Victor and Patriot both get out of there. A bit of a hard landing. So yeah, I don't know if they'd be able to even spool it back up with how hard they landed it.
Mm-hmm.
With how hard they landed it and with the damage to the tail rotor, I think that's going to be its permanent position on the
Yeah.
map from now on.
And we're seeing a kill squad of 6-7 people from Alpha 1, and they're starting to lob shots over to the MI-24 now. Patriot and Victor. Oh! Well, Patriot had the right idea by getting the nose turret, but it's facing east.
They're trying to scare him, but they know that it's not going to face their way.
Yeah.
And then you have Private First Class Eagle here. He does have an AT-4, and he could get the kill shot on that MI-24. It looks like he's scoping out the infantry that just dismounted, though. Meanwhile, looking at a few other things, we got Op4 with a lot of white smoke deployed. They have taken multiple casualties from suppressing fire from BLUFOR's machine gun teams, as well as their 50 cals. And we do have the Op4 team deploying to take Sector 3.
Patriot has gone down and Victor has died. There goes the MI-24, and the crew has been killed. So that's both of the force multipliers for Op4 down and out before they have any real effect on the mission.
Now it's just an infantry on infantry fight, but you do have those static 50s that have been dishing out a lot of punishment. I see Wheaton off of his 50. It might be out of ammo. I'm not seeing any in the left box, so numbers-wise, Op4 still has the advantage. Op4 also taking Sector 3. They're not going to be able to take that till 1 and 2 are captured, but I can see the strategy there. In case BLUFOR tries to push back, they're going to basically have to fight off Sector 3, but if Op4 can take Sector 2, they'll insta-take Sector 3. So it's a good call.
And now you have
Squad's
Alpha.
pulling back in.
Yeah, the Alpha 1's coming back in, and if they look to their east, or if they start moving to their east, they come into Indigo, Fox, Farks, and Arcor. And Fox looks to be firing at those people coming back from the MI-24, which I don't think is the right move, because that is way more. If he's able to draw their attention, he'd be biting off way more than they can chew as that little 3-man vanguard. And Indigo's going lone wolf. He's now
Quick
100
interruption.
meters away.
Patriot wasn't dead. He was only down, and they left him for dead. So he could potentially get behind BLUFOR's lines and do a bit of damage. We've seen single
he's welcome back
players
up.
do a lot of crazy shit on their own, so I'm actually going to be curious to see what he does.
Yeah, that's going to be very interesting to follow, because even if he's not able to do a lot of damage directly, like we saw with that 2-hour-long mission last week, just the fact of having someone in a place where no one expects can lead to a lot of chaos and confusion.
Indigo opening fire on somebody. Don't know why he did that. He doesn't want to give away his position just yet, but I could definitely see a few Op4 guys in the right spot. While that main firefight goes on, he could definitely do a lot of damage. Meanwhile, the rear group of Sector 3 is now coming in. They could potentially ambush Platoon at Sector 2.
Husband pulls one of the 50s back online and quickly jumps off of it.
Yeah, this little vanguard flanking force, whatever you want to call it, of Indigo, Arcor, and Fox, they have at least 10 BLUFOR to their south or southwest, and they need to play this very smart, because
Indigo has to be... Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Even if one of those BLUFOR flanks around their position and they have the numbers to move fairly freely, they have 6 right in front of them. It's a 2-to-1 fight directly. And
T5 Bay coming close to Indigo. Let's see. T4 ERB is watching that sector, though. So Indigo has to be really careful. I will say BLUFOR security, despite the main fight being towards the east, they've done a really good job constantly checking their north. So I'm going to be curious. Now Arcor and Farks are coming up to support Indigo. This could be a pretty nasty fight. Holy crap. Indigo just decked somebody.
That was Bay.
Yep, so there goes T5. He's now being suppressed, but backup's going to come.
Arcor and Farks just went down. Arcor is under heavy fire from what sounds like an auto rifleman, like an F249.
Yeah, he's got a 249 suppressed him. He goes dead. Farks could wake back up. But crazy enough, those two guys going down actually brought Indigo some more time here to get some flanking shots. He kills somebody else, but goes down. You got to consider, though, the ratio of trading. If Op4 can trade 1-to-1 with BLUFOR, since Op4 has the numbers advantage, they could eventually win it. So even though he only got a few guys, it's still a good call there, because you can see the main force is still up in those hills.
Yeah, but the problem with this is, oh yeah, exactly how you said. Op4 is still, like, they still have a clearing that they gotta get through or around to get even closer to Sector 1. The nearest group is a good 400 meters away, and they just have a lot of ground to cover if they want to get even close to the thing.
Patriot coming in from the north as well. However, Jaeger and Kern in his way, because I think they're looking for Op4 snipers or whatnot, because I've seen a lot of outflanking here. They do have the right call, and unfortunately, I think Patriot's going to get hunted down by these two guys. Indigo
Yeah, he's got
also...
two dudes right in front of him.
Indigo's still alive. He's crawled behind a tree. He's going to bandage, and he might be able to sneak up and get another kill or two. Which, you know, there's only four BLUFOR guys left on that flank. Some are pulling back, though. It's fairly interesting to see how that's all going. Stray Jog, meanwhile, has crawled up behind the line. He does have that marksman rifle. He could look to get in a few licks.
Looks like BLUFOR has called in a call to regroup, because we see Montgomery's squad, which includes Kernshaw, Jaeger, Carlson, Erb, all of these kind of outward BLUFOR units. They're going back south-southwest, possibly to Sector 3, but we're seeing that Op4 group that was at Sector 3, they're now moving to Sector 2. Stray Dog is in the front of that pack, and he is... they might be hunting down Blake and Wiki.
So I just did a quick eye over on Sector 3, thinking that Op4 might have put a charge or two down, but I'm not seeing anything.
Patriots taking contact from, I believe that was
That's
Kernshaw.
unfortunate.
Actually, that was Jaeger, but Jaeger, Kernshaw, and the rest of his squad they've now consolidated, and they're well within the engagement distance.
Titan
Patriots doing the
AT
right
just,
thing by
sorry to cut
running
you off,
away.
Barb. Titan AT just went out, hitting Olaf directly, taking out the M2 static. Olaf is going to be able to bandage that back up. Keep going.
Well, that was about it. Patriots kind of turning tail, but he's got up to 6 BLUFOR now looking in his direction, including 2 auto riflemen. Indigo looks to be up and moving again southwards, and so if the two of them can link up, that might be big, but we're seeing now Rust is on that third 50 to Indigo south, and having some decent enfilade fire going on those suppressed Op4 guys who are just... I mean, I'm seeing 4 Op4 medics running around, bandaging them and trying to get everyone back up into a fighting condition. But it is just very tough situation for Op4 right now. And Bork, you're pot making again.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So a few quick things. One, Indigo is up to a BLUFOR body. He could potentially steal a gun and try to mask his weapon audio ID to fool BLUFOR. That worked really well last week. Also, I saw BLUFOR return in kind. An HEDP rocket went right up to War Dog, who's on his own on the southeastern flank. Probably like 5 meters short, but he seemed okay. And then I also watched, who is this? I think it was Pierce exchanging auto rifleman fire with BLUFOR, and Pierce got mowed down. Also, Nirisk getting blown up by that charge we saw that demo specialist put over there at the beginning of the round, but Nirisk looks okay instead. I'm not seeing any bleeding damage, so good opportunity there, but unfortunately was wasted. Even so, it would have just been one guy, so good call.
Yeah, Patriots now moved up. He's bushwalking and just calling out positions, if I had to guess. Indigo looks like he kept his AK-74, but he might have picked up some nades or something and just got a basic resupply on medical, especially since he went down and had to bandage back up quite a considerable amount. We're seeing that Red 4 unit to the south near the Uski marker. They're still kind of stagnant. I don't think they've made their presence known yet, which is a good thing. The main Op4 force, I mean, they have
real quick, Barb, look at Patriot and Kernshaw right now. Patriot's trying to line up a shot on him, but Kern has no idea he's over there. So that could be a pretty nasty headshot kill right off the bat. Jaeger's still looking on the northern flank, but Patriot's not close enough to be detected. Let Warwick speak. He hasn't spoken in a while.
Well, I was just gonna say, I think right now what we can see with Op4, where they're static right now, and just looking at how close up their group, they're all kind of huddled around Carpenter, who I do believe I think he is the next highest in command. He is, I believe, one of the squad leaders here. And I think what's going on is they're recollecting just to try and figure out what the next plan of attack is, because obviously this range battle is not going to work. Trying to go head to head against that defensive wall right there is paramount to suicide. Now, if they can somehow get in contact with Patriot and Indigo Fox, that flank over there is largely safe. If they could leave behind one of the if they could leave behind this Delta element here to put out suppressive fire, they could pretty much move this entire attacking element on this flank here, and I think that's what they're doing here as they
they're sending out a force.
We gotta watch Patriot though. He just ran right in to where BLUFOR is. No one spotted him. He might be able to run up to Kern and frickin' mag dump him.
Yeah, his targets of importance would be Kernshaw, and there was another auto rifleman, JS Lull, but he's far up to the east, so it's gonna be Kernshaw. If he can take him out, and he looks like he's on the hunt.
Rust is in his inventory. He would have spotted Patriot if he wasn't in there. No one's looking up at him. This is ridiculous.
Kershaw. And there goes
Kernshaw goes down.
A dozen.
Now they're all
ahead,
running.
And,
yep.
And that's kicked the hornet's nest, but a good effort.
Honestly, by taking out that auto rifleman though, he's definitely negated their force multiply. Patriot now coming up close to Jaeger. Who's gonna turn around first? Might be Jaeger. Jaeger's gonna get the turnaround. But not before Carlson gets knocked out.
Showland off to the east by 100 meters actually spotted out Patriot in his position and was able to force Patriot to move, which caused him to get behind Jaeger.
He's not waking up after that.
And yeah, Patriot gets shot in the back by Jaeger, and I mean, Kernshaw did some damage. If they're not able to find Kernshaw's body and reacquire that 240.
By the way, Stray Drog right next to 3 dudes with the Javelin gunner. Oh my god.
Yes. They're just hiding here, and they are completely unaware. Wiki, Blake, and Martin. Martin, of all people. I mean...
He has access to the Javelin guy, though. Like, he's going to let them get some distance and then just pop them in the back of the head. That's beautiful. OPFOR, their main force is now suppressing the BLUFOR's main force. And there's just so much action going on right now.
The only problem with Stray Dog's position is he's in a pretty deep hole. There's a lot of grass around him. I'm not sure if he's spotted Blake or Wiki.
They are popping smoke grenades, though, to conceal.
But yeah, Stray is on the hunt now. He's looking for Martin. And we'll see if... I mean, but that grass...
It's because Pads, his... No, it wasn't him. But there were some shots clicking off. I think that might have just been stray fire from the main battle. So... OPFOR, they've got 5 dudes to 3. They could easily cut those guys off and take them out. Also, it looks like Carlson was able to be medic back up, so Patriot only getting that 1 kill, but for a downed pilot to make it that far, that was pretty good, and we still have Indigo Fox on the side here. Not sure what he's going to attempt. There was a BLUFOR... there's also a BLUFOR guy, Corey, over here on his own. Be curious what he'll do. But anyway, go ahead, Barb.
Stray Dog let Martin and his trio of Merry Musketeers get away. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but they've now gotten to a building north of Sector 3, or a few buildings north of Sector 3, and they're just kind of holding out. I wouldn't be surprised if he was able to relay that information to Tomato, Night Owl, and the rest of his the people that he was with down to the south. But we have Drake off to his northeast, and if Drake is able to make some noise that would attack Stray Dog, he could cut off the command chain right there. Although I say that, Stray Dog sees Martin, takes a shot,
misses. Also, those OPFOR guys are doing a horseshoe. They're going to do a wide U and come up from their left and try to get right behind them. As Stray Dog more than likely is going to try to cut guys off. What he doesn't know is that Blake he's got a marksman rifle with an MOS sight on the top, so that's his worst nightmare as a counter sniper, but he's really utilizing this tree here.
Don't want to cut you off, but a little small battle is about to happen between Give Me Your Milk and Corey, and...
Corey wins it. Yeah.
Give Me Your Milk just walked right on top of him for a moment there. Both were completely
Corey, Give Me Your Milk, and that gives Corey access to the RPG. I don't think there are any HE rockets with the current
more.
Opt for light AT kit, but still.
But that group of guys right next to Corey, I mean, that could be
that is
very
RPG
dangerous.
bait.
He's gonna, yep, there he goes, taking it. I would do the same thing.
Because if nothing else, you launch it at an infantryman, it's gonna kill him if it hits.
But Op4 is doing a really smart play. They've split off their force into half and half. One half going around the right flank of that major defense line. The other half still suppressing that defense line to make BLUFOR think that they are still going to stay there and suppress. And you got Op4 now coming in, but Corey crossing on the right is going to walk right in front of Op4. Carpenter gets eyes on. He stops, confirms the PID, starts mag dumping, and Corey never had a fucking chance. That's gotta suck.
No, not with that number of Op4 coming on his position.
And that right there is a really good example of how the fog of war can really fuck you if you do not keep your situational awareness. Meanwhile, that shoehorn I talked about earlier on the south, 2 guys have broken around, 2 more staying on the back. They're definitely dividing around to try to engage this position. Also, Stray Dog has been shot multiple times from the blood.
I'm pretty sure that PFC Eagle and T4 Herb are firing at Blake, Wiki, and Martin. Because there are Op4 around their position, but the position that they're aiming at specifically is where friendlies are relative to them.
Amazing.
The BLUFOR main line now getting hit from its direct front and its flank at the same time. Going to attempt to, Op4 is going to try and roll this main defensive line now.
Oh, but Bridges with that auto rifle, he's lighting up the force to the northwest of his position. Hoyt, our good boy Nemesis of Scandi Recon, and a couple others, they're gonna be suppressed by this machine gun. And Hoyt makes a fatal mistake, and I say fatal because he's fucking dead, Jim.
Sometimes bravery is the same thing as stupidity.
Hold up, look at that. Look at Nirsk running up the freaking SSR right here. No one's covering that side because everyone's looking out to the north where that other flank is coming from. Meanwhile, you got other BLUFOR forces pulling back. I think they're gonna give up that sector. And you've also got the left flank also moving to that sector.
I mean, in even if they do let it go, I believe I'd have to do a head count, but I believe BLUFOR has the man advantage. Although Nearest, he's opening up now on that HMG position that they were holding, but a little kind of a too little too late situation. The GP25 isn't going to be able to do much among the scattered infantry that are still around it. If he was there a minute before, he might have been able to catch up Bridges or Mannerheim or Cosmonaut. But right now, everyone is leaving, and I don't think he even got anyone with that GP.
So by the way, Warwick, technical question for you. Is it 15 minutes of prep and then an hour, or is the 15 minutes of prep included in that hour for the mission?
Safe start is not included in mission time.
All right, so there's about whatever 15 plus 13 is left on the mission clock here. So a little under half an hour, but with how long this battle has been going, it might just go out that way. Meanwhile, I see Drake going down to a machine gun, still possibly has the possibility to wake up. Anderson's to his left, and BLUFOR is just trying to do a slow pullback of the area. I'm surprised Sorry, go ahead.
Drake wakes back up, but he, instead of rolling into cover, he pops smoke and and he gets shot again. Not the best move as a command element. Anderson, I think, is a squad lead as well, but yeah, go ahead, Warwick.
That's one of the things about his unit. The second MRB, they're very flexible with
Man,
their
with no
command
thanks to a
elements.
Twitch Prime sub.
You have
Hope you keep enjoying the ops and hope you get a kick out of this.
a various number of people from Drake to Anderson to Master Sergeant Cosmonaut, who also now has gone down, to Staff Sergeant Montgomery, to Staff Sergeant Bridges, who are all
Cosmonaut went
really
down by
able
Nurse
to
right there.
fit into that role of taking up squad lead or team lead positions. They're very flexible about that.
Basically, they're really good at stepping up when someone goes down and taking the reins. That shows that they've got a good command structure and they've got good communication so people can instantaneously take those roles. That's excellent.
God, imagine having a community with that, right, Liru?
I can dream, damn it. Meanwhile, we're seeing Norse on his own on that left flank again. He's a medic of all things, and Op4 is recamping Sector 3, and they got 2 guys watching just a random SSR. Not sure what they're planning for that. Maybe they'll try to catch BLUFOR to pull back and try to gun a few down to wrap it up.
Yeah, Logan and Night Owl, they're kind of pushing forward into this little town up here, clearing some buildings very slowly, holding fire, not really doing too much to let their position be known.
Blake, who has the marksman rifle, by the way, he's got a really good angle on the left flank here, and he might be able to catch Norse out of position and get a few shots on the guys like Nemesis and Carpenter, who are still getting suppressed by, it looks like 249 fire.
Yeah, Quigley was the marksman, but I guess he died, and there goes the notification. Attackers have captured Sector 1, so now they are to move on to Sector 2 and finally to Sector 3. And that might have been the cue for that backstabbing element to go ahead. We're seeing Pads and Spanish Tomato. They're starting to move in a bit faster now as Night Owl and Logan hold their position. And because Logan and Night Owl, all they have to do here is hold.
I think Spanish and Tomato are going to try to take out their marksman. They're being very aggressive now. These guys have no idea that they're up there. We'll just have to see where they decide to make their move. They did just spot Martin there.
Yeah, Martin got spotted, but either they didn't feel they didn't get a good position to fire, or they missed their mark. Whatever the case is, it's pretty good. However, Blake is still firing off, so we'll see what Spanish and Pads do here. Because if they're able to sandwich them in and leave Logan and Night Owl completely secure, all they have to do is capture Sector 2, and they will win.
By the way, Norse,
Martin and Wiki are going off. Go ahead.
Just to quickly interject here, Norse did take a few pot shots at this group in the barn where Nearson and Jaeger are. Jaeger then looked out the little slit window on the left, but was unable to spot him. Continue.
Well, yeah, we have the two guards for Blake, Wiki and Martin. They're going off back to the east as Norris is opening up fire again. As just a lone gunman, his position is pretty advantageous. He's drawing attention away from the main force, and like I said earlier, you can't just you can't ignore things. Although Norris is he's dumping rounds into who was it earlier? Kern's body.
Poor Kern.
Yeah, been dead for about 5 minutes. The body's already cold, but he's still dumping rounds into it because he's scared, I guess.
So, by the way, I just did a head count for players that are still alive right now. BLUFOR has 19 and OPFOR has 16. I say that, and we just watched Nemesis get gunned the fuck down by Montgomery, so that is now 15 on OPFOR.
OPFOR has definitely been losing some paint on that last assault in this.
Other guy that went down.
They've consolidated up well, and they have managed to take that first objective here, but BLUFOR's
Spanish Tomato about to flank Blake in the rear. Sorry to cut you off, Warwick.
Sees it.
Keep going, Warwick. Keep going.
Oh, no, that was pretty much the end of that.
But Spanish Tomato now, he's holding his fire, looking at Blake. Pads is probably going to be moving up past him, if I had to guess. But yeah, Tomato now has the perfect chance to kill this marksman. Although Blake no longer has that javelin. I don't know if he ran out of ammo, but
Blake gave it to Wix. Wiki, excuse me. Wiki is over at Sector 2 right now with that javelin. But
either way, it's pretty. It's most of it is. I'm gonna say it's useless, except for killing one or two infantrymen.
More so a shock value.
Yeah, possibly a shock value, but there's not much use for that javelin now, so I'm not totally surprised that he gave it away.
Well, he's the marksman, so he probably gave it away for less weight. But Spanish Tomato Pads being very cautious here, trying to make sure that Blake is indeed alone, but Blake has no idea that these two guys are over here.
I'm gonna sound like a dick saying this, but Quigley was the marksman, but he died, so Blake picked it up and then gave it away. So that's why he had both the rifle and the javelin. Although
there goes Blake, because a stray grenadier round went by Spanish Tomato and Pads. I don't know if that's friendly or enemy, but it hit the building where those two OPFOR guys are on and caused them to quickly just open fire. I do
Blake
see
turned
some.
around, yeah, and they
Yeah,
opened
some.
fire.
Yeah, he turned around in panic. I don't think he saw Op4, or maybe just saw them just before he was shot. But now Spanish Tomato is bandaging. Pads, I think, is also going into the barn to bandage as well. And we have Carlson pulling back, probably hearing that AK fire, and now he's scoping it out. He's looking right up at possibly Spanish Tomato. But he'll be able to feed that intel to his guys and say, hey, Op4 is by Sector 3, so they might be forced to just hold Sector 2. But they do have the numbers advantage, but they don't know that yet.
I'm pretty sure Carlson did spot him out. From the position he was at, he could have seen Tomato's location.
So it's
and
it's
Carlson
one
looks like-
round per
he looks
map,
like he's playing it
and
safe
then
just
it's
kinda
like
going
3
up
different
northwest in the
matches.
riverbed.
And this is still round 1.
It's a sticky situation. Logan and Night Owl have gotten away from Sector 3 now, but we're seeing Boston and Coas, 2 command elements, going up. But I say that, but there's not many other options. They have a total of 8 guys over here on the east versus at least, if I had to guess, probably 15 BLUFOR. Because of how spread out Op4 is, they played the long game, but they weren't able to plan properly for the short game with losing that BTR-80 and the MI-24 so quickly.
Yeah.
And Carlson does spot out. I think that was Tomato that he spotted out and lets a couple rounds loose. So he's definitely spotted them, and he's going to be calling that up. That Sector 3 is FUBAR, so it's Sector 2 or die.
You know, I'm going to quickly scan the... Sorry, go ahead, Warwick.
No, I was just going to say that Sector 2 isn't looking much better right now because any route of approach, you've got 2 auto riflemen watching one direction, you've got another watching another direction.
This is where
and
Op4 lost their advantage.
Both are open fields with very scarce cover here. I think the only cover that's really accessible, Coac and Boston are currently sitting on it, and they're still taking heavy fire.
Now, I was really curious to see why Op4 is actually down in the numbers game here, because they've been making the really risky plays that have been paying off, you know, having 1 or 2 guys sneak in the line, get 2 or 3 kills before they go down. And I think I found our answer. If you look at the barn that they were all regrouping at 025, 135, you can see 4 dead Op4 bodies right there, and I genuinely think they just lost too many people while suppressing that front line, especially to the 50 cals. So really nice to see that the 50 cals were that effective in this game, and now just BLUFOR has to hunker down, wait it out, and they could possibly steal this out of Op4's nose.
Yeah, and looking at those bodies, I'm seeing 1 Pechenek, a PKP. I'm not seeing a couple of the weapons on the other bodies, an AK, a couple of AKs, but yeah, like even just taking out 1 PKP is a huge reduction in firepower for Op4.
Also, we just had a burst of auto rifle fire come from, I believe, Spanish Tomato, or no, it was Pads with the auto rifle. He tried to kill Dreek, but Dreek only took 1 shot and was able to quickly get down. So now BLUFOR especially knows that they've got Op4 on their rear, and we do have Carlson now coming up. He did a wide right flank, and I think he's trying to line up some shots on whoever might come out. But now Pads firing out again. He hasn't really fired too much this op, so he's got a lot of spare ammo, and he's just trying to spook BLUFOR. Even by turning some of those BLUFOR guns around, that might let Boston and Coac get close enough to do some significant damage. But Op4 seems very scattered right now in their line compared to BLUFOR. Why are you saying oh no?
Well, Carson just lit up Spanish Tomato, and he sees Logan now, but he didn't see Tomato. Or sorry, Carson didn't see Night Owl go off on his right flank, and now Night Owl is going to come around this building, and he's going to get the back of Carlson.
I don't think he's going to come in time.
Maybe, maybe not, but it's... He's now going through the barn. The thing is, though, Carson does not know that Night Owl is there, and Night Owl knows that someone is somewhere, which...
Oh, Logan tried to get a grenadier round on Carlson, but for whatever reason, the minimum debt. No, he fired a flare round at him. Do you see the 2 flares cooking?
Oh, come on.
And Carlson goes down, but I think he killed somebody.
Yeah, he took out,
Spanish Tomato.
A good trade. And Carlson, there he goes.
I mean, Blue. Go ahead.
Wounds.
I think the flare round going out was more of a I forgot to hit F scenario and it's back to my rifle.
I mean, BLUFOR, I don't think they realize it, but as long as they make one-to-one trades, they'll be a-okay here, because they have the numbers advantage now.
I mean, there's literally 4 op4 to their north and 3 op4 to their west. Versus, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, something like 16 BLUFOR.
By the way, Boston, their op4 platoon lead just got blown up. I'm staring at his body with the LR. That is unfortunate. So now op4 does not have a chain of command right now, unless someone steps up.
Yeah, right now I feel like even with the chain of command, they're fairly stagnate or splintered, I think is a better way to put that. They're with the 2 different elements on opposite sides of the BLUFOR stronghold, and the fact that I saw a similar situation a few weeks ago,
a ridiculous
where
flank there.
Because op4 tried to be smart and sneaky and got around the back of the defending team. The defending team were able to turtle up much more effectively and defend a singular objective, and that's what this, I think, is going on now. We have a number of BLUFOR watching the west now on the south side of Sector 2. A good half dozen of them have their rifles pointing west, and then the rest are looking either north or northeast. And it's, I mean, I feel like there should be a surrender option for Red 4 at this point.
By the way, 15-minute warning. There it is right there. 15 minutes remaining.
Yeah, it's gonna be either timeout or die out, I guess, for Red 4.
Op4's, yeah, they're just way too sporadic right now. They're completely scattered. And now you even have BLUFOR guys running out to go do cleanup, and they could potentially get the fights here. Just, small 1v1 firefights. I could see it.
Yeah. Stathenberger goes. I think Stathenberger's been down for a while, but we have Nielsen on BLUFOR, hiding in a bush along that road leading northeast. I mean, BLUFOR can send out some hit squads and really get some. Probably be somewhat effective. Indigo's running away to the north.
Yeah.
Casey's charging in south. He's gonna come and run into Sholand. In just a minute or two, I think.
I think one of the things op4, at least in their shoes, if I knew everything that was going on, I would definitely try to pick up a BLUFOR rifle and blend in with all the suppressive fire and just start taking out people that I could see and just try to even out the number advantage. But there's just so much of a number stagnation here that I do not see op4 pulling out with this, especially with their command severed. The units are completely scattered around, and now BLUFOR, I think, is realizing this and starting to push guys around to take advantage of it.
Yeah, Nielsen is now joined by JS Lol and Sholan. They're pushing up to the northeast. We have Coas and War Dog up here in this warehouse, just kind of trying to formulate some kind of plan. Wait for something, wait for other elements to move in, but...
Sholan finally put Strathenberg out of his misery.
I'm seeing Indigo pulling back. He's actually looking at bodies. He might be looking for a BLUFOR rifle.
If he's in that area, he could come across
Yeah, he's walking right up. Oh, no, he's bandaging. Are there, Warwick, are there reopening wounds?
There are not reopening wounds. However, he was taking fire from, I think...
Shogun throws a nade. That's a... well, it was a good nade, but it bounced a little bit too far. I did hit Coas and Wardog with a bit of shrapnel, and I think Coas is crippled. There goes another one. I don't know how Sholan saw that, but Sholan was able to take out, or get a few shots on Wardog. Sholan is shooting through the crack in the door.
That's
that
cheeky.
Angle is dirty.
That is the smallest of angles.
If it works, it works.
Fire, but yeah, absolutely. Wardog returns some fire, but it's just spray and pray at that point. Nielsen and JSL are pushing up around the right side as Sholan breaks the window. I think he was going to try and throw a nade, but I think he might be out.
Shoal goes down. We just heard a rocket get fired at the building that Op4 was previously on, where Tomato and friends were shooting. I think Eagle used his AT4. Yep. So he's going to pull back now. World Dog going down.
Yeah, JSL is pushing around, as well as Nielsen. They're both around that eastern side of the warehouse. And oof.
I think that might be the nails in the coffin for Op4 here. Wardog and Koak were the last real attempt at pushing this in. You've even seen the from where Pads and Spanish Tomato and Night Owl were at. They've been forced to pull off that position to try and attempt to dislodge BLUFOR here. It's just throwing whatever you have at the wall and hoping that the wall gives.
Yeah, Koas is sitting in this little foreman's hut in a low crouch position, just watching the windows, waiting for something with a hair trigger right now.
Nielsen just tried to throw a grenade in, but it bounced off. He still has that AT4 though, so he could clear with that.
Pads is now in a firefight with Eagle. Eagle's in a trench right now as Pads is trying to just move around and do something.
Freaking Koak put his head up on the wrong time just as Nielsen was behind him, and we just saw classic Omeawa Munshinderu right there. You could see the Nani in Koak's eyes.
I saw the tracers coming out from the window, and I heard the gunfire in the distance, and it was just...
Meanwhile, Pads pushing up on Eagle towards the rear. Eagle's trying to bandage because Pads hit him earlier, and now Pads is going to get a cheap execution. There it is. Doesn't make sure he's dead, but definitely put 3 or 4 bullets in him. I don't see anyone watching... Well, hold up. We got Montgomery and Dreek looking that direction, but they're not looking their exact southwest right now. So Pads might be able to take advantage of that.
Russ is RP walking building to building, friendly wiggling at the Op4 in a classic display of BM as PFC Montgomery and Pads get into a firefight. And Russ is actually the one who finishes off Pads.
I'm not surprised with that. Pads had no cover right there. He was standing up, and Montgomery had a freaking building. So even though they had the machine gun for Op4, that's just how it falls, man.
Yeah, we have less than 10 minutes left on the clock as Night Owl and Logan somehow switching positions. Night Owl is way off to the northwest, and Logan is now at Sector 3. As we still have about a dozen or so BLUFOR still up in
Night
the
Owl
AO.
just got dropped.
What? What? From what? What?
I think Martin shot him. He was... Oh, Martin stole an SVD!
Jesus.
Night Owl wakes back up, but wow. That was a good good keyhole
shot,
right there, because he was just out on that top left window, was just able to get an angle when Night Owl came on the left side of this rock. Very well done. Now Logan's gonna have to clutch. If we've seen Logan do some crazy stuff. Logan did take Blake's DMR as well, so the DMRs have switched sides at this point.
Oh my god. Yeah, right now it's absolutely a clutch or kick scenario. Logan has to clutch it now, or he will be permanently
I
banned
think
from
we should all get a whisper going on Logan and just start chanting clutch or kick at this point. I mean, let's see. It's Logan. I mean, Knight is still alive, but I don't think they're coordinating here because they're not together. Also, Anderson is trying to bandage Eagle up, but in terms of how many BLUFOR are up right now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 versus 2. I like those odds for Logan.
I think at this point it's more of just a matter of pride.
You're outnumbered 3-1. I like
those odds.
This is why I love you, Liru.
All the homo. So Dreek now running in the open. Logan doesn't spot him. Logan's, I think, scouting out buildings instead. He does have that BLUFOR gun, so, you know, he might be able to blend in if he gets close enough. So let's get that clutch or kick going.
Maybe. I mean, the problem is
come on,
that
clutch
the
or
three
kick.
BLUFOR guys,
Clutch or
Drake,
kick.
Anderson, and Russ, they're all looking west. They're expecting something to come from the west. So whether it sounds friendly or not, they're going to be investigating it and probably returning fire if they hear anything at all.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain that if there's any fire coming out from there, it's going to be really quickly determined to be not friendly and...
Oh, yep. Logan
got somebody! Who was that?
He dropped Anderson. He dropped him.
12 more to go!
That was someone.
Clutch
I saw
or
blood
kick.
go out.
Clutch or kick.
And the problem is with the SR-25, it sounds similar to an AR because it's the same kind of rifle technology, I guess.
I'm
in a
still
way,
seeing
but-
plenty of radios on BLUFOR here. So you did say Blake picked it up from their dead marksman. So I think by now these guys would know that their marksman is down. I think Dreek just got eyes on Logan through a bush. Yeah, no, Dreek has good eyes on him. Come on, Logan. Logan going for some more shots. Takes a shot at Montgomery. It makes him squirm a little bit. But he's gonna hunker down on that position, but Dreek is slowly inching up. I'm rooting for Logan. Logan has stolen helicopters and my heart with last week, so I'm gonna hate to see him go. But he doesn't. He just walked right into Dreek's line. Oh, Logan. Logan!
If Dreek would just look a little bit to his right, he would have been able to see Logan right in between bushes, out in the open.
Yep, now
Oh
there's
my
a little
God.
bit
Oh
of
my
grass.
Logan actually gets Mannerheim through a tree. I saw the tree, the branch actually warped the bullet, but it still hit Mannerheim and
Is he
downed
dead?
him. He's down. But
He's
not
down.
out,
Yeah, no, you're
but-
right. Wow.
It's just a little bit a little bit of a funny here. Anytime that Logan moves, Dreek also moves.
Oh,
So
that's looks like Dreek is being subbed out for Anderson. Oh
And
no.
Anderson
Oh,
pieces that
no.
over,
No. Logan!
and-
Logan! Wolverine, look out! They're about to get you! Oh, he gets suppressed
Oh.
instead. That makes him go down. That might have actually just saved Logan for a second. He's now gonna barrel roll right, and BLUFOR is gonna lose eyes on him.
It's only prolonging the inevitable. Dreek is now pushing up on his right. He hides behind that tree, but
No, Logan's
ooh.
gonna clutch. Come on. He's gonna maneuver more to the right and then see Dreek and then shoot him point blank. Then he's gonna run to the right of this crevice, gun down Rust and Anderson, and he's gonna clutch. Okay?
I'm gonna disagree with you because the Russian has picked up a filthy capitalist rifle that automatically disqualifies him from the Russian heaven known as Gulag 69. I don't know. I lost.
Night Owl is still in this fight, by the way, but
Oh,
he's
but
going to.
actually,
Whoa,
Logan's
whoa,
pushing up.
Logan!
Logan,
Logan,
look
look left! Look left! Logan!
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Logan, you
Dreek's on!
fool! Logan! Oh, Logan just turned around and realized he
Oh,
fucked
no,
up.
no,
Oh my
they're
god!
on me.
Oh my god!
Oh
Logan!
my fucking god!
Wait,
This
but
gotta be
Drake
kidding-
dies in a friendly fire crossover!
They were too wild with their execution.
Ow!
They killed Dreek.
Logan
They
knew.
killed
No,
his
no, no.
ass.
Logan knew he was screwed. I mean, he looked left and saw those three guys. So he's like, screw it. I'm going to get right up next to Dreek and make you kill him if you kill me. And naturally, BLUFOR fell for it. And Logan once again showing his superiority out of everyone in FNF and still winning my heart in that scene.
Absolutely. I mean, just for that alone, he absolutely gets MVP for OPFOR, possibly sharing with Patriot, because
It's okay, Night Owl can clutch. He's going to see Nielsen in the doorway.
Well, not if he
No,
runs at him.
not. Why did you
No.
not clear your left before you breached? Why didn't you pie it? You're supposed to pie it. Damn it, Night Owl. That's fine.
He
still has a
absolutely
sexy
just
voice.
Sprinted in, and then Nielsen was like, "Oh, hey, what's up?"
Yeah,
and
did you see him
gunned
just
down.
pointed at his bar? He's like, hey, I killed that guy. He just sprinted
Hey.
up to me while I had my gun trained
Hey.
on him. Wow.
That guy released an
Hey.
EP and I fucking killed him. Oh
my
god, do you see
God.
his corpse?
Yeah,
foot
he's
is sticking
missing
up
an
in the air.
arm.
For me, he's missing a leg.
Oh.
But that is.
Oh god, now they're turning him into soup.
Oh no. As Azarai would say, crushed raspberries.
Oh.
All right, let's hop back out for debrief.
By the way, guys, there are 2 more rounds, so please stick around. Barb and I will do something stupid for intermission to keep you entertained.
All right, that was a pretty intense round. Can I get team leaders to push their numbers for me, please?
I would like to say one thing.
Good.
I will BRB 1 second.
Hang on, I have to count numbers.